So the person who is afraid to die is the person who is afraid to live. And I know that this might be a sensitive subject for some of you because discussing the concept of death is something that doesn't come easy to a lot of people. But I want to talk about it in its most metaphysical and esoteric form, not from a physical death point of view. So when you look at life, there is a war between two worlds at any point in time, all the time, right? There's the war between good and evil. There's the war between faith and fear. And then there's also the war between the old man and the new man. So, what do I mean by this? So, it's not about male and female, it is about man in concept, that there's always a war between the old you and the new you. And each and every day and each time that you evolve, you have to choose who you are going to serve between those two, the old man or the new man. And the concept of death can be applied in this respect as well, because for the new man or the new version of you to evolve and emerge, you have to die to the old version of you. So you have to put to death or die to your old habits. You have to die to your old ways of thinking. You have to die even to old relationships. And in essence, you have to die to everything that holds you back so that the person that you know you ought to be can emerge. That thriving person, that person that is progressive and is moving forward. And this is a process that we go through throughout life, right? So if we think about the concept of death and we think about it most of the time from a physical point of view, death is also the beginning of new beginnings because old things have to die for new things to emerge. So you only have to think about yourself. Every time there has been that budding thought of a new activity or a new goal or a new ambition, a new dream or a new hope inside you, there has had to be something, a change, right? An evolution that has had to happen within you that has necessitated something old within you that needs to die. So your old ideas about yourself, okay? So perhaps you have low self-esteem and you have a negative self-image of yourself. But you also have dreams of becoming something bigger, something more, this great leader, maybe a world changer. And instinctively, you know that as a person who has low self esteem or a negative self image, you're not going to get to be that world changer with that type of view of yourself, with that type of the mental patterns that keep repeating itself. So, what needs to happen is for those patterns to die. They need to die so that that old version of you dies, so that that new person who's going to be a world changer can emerge. And so, from that point of view, it's important to note that if you are a person who is afraid to die in that way, in terms of dying to your old version, dying to the old things, this will mean that you are also the person who is afraid to live, because in that way you are not really living, right? What is happening is that you are becoming a victim of your old patterns. You're becoming a victim of your fears. You become a victim of your anxiety. And those things hold the new version of you back. And so you can't really thrive, you can't prosper, you can't even move forward, right? Because you are paralyzed by this old version of you, those old thoughts that keep repeating themselves in your head, in the way you conduct yourself, you carry yourself, the old habits that you are refusing to let go of, to let die, so that you can take up these new ones that are going to take you forward in life. Yeah? So, if you're not that person that is prepared to die to your old self, you're never going to truly live. Because the person who is afraid to die is actually the person who is also afraid to live.